Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're returning. So today I'm just showing you how I set up for a new set, and it's a watch me work video. My client Shante is back. I did a set of hers a couple of watch me works back, or maybe the last watch me work, where she got some 90s nails. She usually only comes to me a few times a year, but she surprised me this time and came right back in a couple of weeks. What she likes to do is take the nails, whenever she gets a set of acrylic nails, she takes them off whole and keeps them in good condition and her nails in good shape without soaking off, without cutting them off. She says she uses dental floss and her nails aren't damaged, so I would not do that, but she does. And I just did a set on her like 3 weeks ago, and this is how her nails look. So anyway, she takes them off whole so that she can basically use them as press-ons. And I've asked her if she wants me to make her press-ons, but she said no, because she likes them on permanently for a couple weeks. She's got her little thing going on. She does, it's just how she wants it. So anyway, I did push back the cuticles. I sanitized her nails with some alcohol swabs, and this was a really good close-up of what the ball bit should be doing. You can see I have this on a speed of about 7, and this is a rather large ball bit. I kind of like them bigger because I feel like they don't do as much like shredding. It's just supposed to, for me, what I use it for is just to buff that cuticle off so I don't have to trim them. And so this is just a really good view of how it works and how well it works. So you kind of push the cuticle up a little further and buff it out. And of course some of that bit's going to get on the nail plate, just as long as you're not digging it in there, because it will leave a groove. And so then I'm just here using my 180 side of the Tammy Taylor file to even out her natural nail and getting them pretty trim and almost gone, because she is getting a clear and white set. She sent me a picture of white nails with a couple of them clear, and under the clear were 3D flowers. And I can do 3D flowers on top of the nail, but I don't know how to make them really thin like rose petals like Zulay does, where they can be encapsulated. So we decided that stickers would be good enough, and she chose butterflies, roses, flames, and flashpoints, those little flashpoint star looking things that a lot of people use around Christmas time. And so she's got 4 nails on each hand that are clear with those stickers under them encapsulated, and then the rest just solid white. And I love it when she comes because she does full length. I don't even trim off, snip off the number. All I do is, take the little nib off the end of the tips. And so she's my only full length client at this time. I used to have another girl, but she had to drive like an hour away, and I guess she just quit coming. So I'm going to show you guys here what I've always keep mentioning about how I put my tips on. I always angle them downward and make the contact with the glue right on the white part of the free edge of the natural nail. You see how I do that? Because I tend to notice when I lay them flat in the direction of someone's nail plate, if they don't have a natural apex or arch to their nail, it ends up looking like their nails are sticking up. The tips just don't look right. The nail shape doesn't come out right. So I was just showing you there in a little slower, that I kind of angle them down, and that really changes the shape. That's just a little trick I mentioned it in my last video, and I said I'd show it a little better in this one. So I'm going in with some Zulay Bond Aid, which is another type of primer, but it's basically to dehydrate the nail. And then this is Sky acrylic primer that I use on every set, and I never experience any lifting at all, and I love it. And now I'm going to go in with a clear bead of acrylic to strengthen this area, to blend the tip, and also to leave a layer of clear if I ever need to. Let's say she wants to come for a fill, I can go down to this clear layer. I do this on all my sets, and I am showing the clear layer on all of the nails because this Sky primer is like a gummy texture, and I just wanted you guys to see it's actually dry at this point, even though it looks wet. And so this gives a couple of good examples, especially on the thumb, I think, of how it stays looking. Because I just want you guys to know, like, if you buy some and you use some, because this confused me at first. I wondered, how long do I let it dry? Because it's never getting dry. Well, it is dry. And that's what makes it really sticky and really, really good, is because it stays that wet, tacky type. Shape? I don't know. So I'm going to go in and build the structure of the clear nails first, and then put the stickers on and then cap them. So that's why I'm going in, not necessarily thick, but I am building the nail with clear on these clear nails. I'm doing that first. And I do use a variety of brushes through this set because, as you guys know, clear kind of gets stuck in your brush. So as I was going, I was swapping out my brushes and letting the other ones soak. Right here, this is a Getnailsbyjen number 8 acrylic brush, which I love. I love this brush. And I'm just going in with pretty much medium beads until I get the acrylic on. And I am going to show you guys something I mentioned in my last video. Something that helped me a lot. Like, you hear a lot of tutorials, nail techs saying, you know, go with the shape of your tip, clean up your sidewalls, stick to the shape of the tip to make your nails and, you know, make it less filing and all of that. Very, very true. But one thing that I learned the hard way is thinking that I had to have my sides covered and then having so much to file off of my sidewalls. So a couple times throughout here, I'm going to show you how I do it and what really changed my filing and shaping game, especially with square nails and long nails like this. It's really, really easy to get too much acrylic on your sidewall, even if you're wiping your sides, because you think you've got to get acrylic over there. So basically, I learned that as long as your acrylic meets the edge and doesn't go over the edge, it just makes it so much easier. So I'll show you what that should look like and how to do that as we go here. So you can see, of course, that I'm doing regular application. I'm wiping my sides, but I'm also bringing the acrylic to the high center of the nail. Like when I'm wiping, I'm angling my brush. See that? Where, like, toward the top. So I'm coming in at an angle when I'm wiping my sides, not just wiping them straight off, but aiming the acrylic to the top, like that. And when we get to a side view, I'll show you how you can still see the clear line of the tip along the sides where there isn't acrylic and doesn't need to be acrylic, because you have covered your sides. And I think I'm going to show it right here. See how you can see that this nail is formed and the acrylic is on it, but you can still see the outline of my tip under there. You can really see it well. Here you go. See that? That is how you want your acrylic on there. And you get that just by patting and tapping around it, if that makes sense. So you see how I'm bringing it away from the sides right here? I'm pushing it to the center. And it doesn't look like there is not acrylic on my sides, but if you can imagine that little still shot I just showed you of that clear edge showing through, you can see that really good with clear acrylic. When I go in with the white, you won't be able to tell that you can still see that clear bit of tip there, because the acrylic is meeting the free edge of the tip. It's just not going over it. So if you can imagine taking your file, when you start filing your free edges, your first swipe of the file is going to get rid of any of that clear bit of tip that might be there. And I think I'm going to show it to you on this nail as well. And so imagine putting your file there, it will go away. So you won't have an edge that's not covered with acrylic, if that makes sense. That will change your filing and shaping game. Look, I paused it for you there again. Hopefully that will help you guys, because it really helped me when I realized I did not have to go lobbing my acrylic over the sides. Another kind of crucial thing I forgot to mention about this little trick or tip or whatever is it helps a lot when you're doing C-curve nails. Another thing is, if you do straight tips, straight square tips like these, and when you're done applying and filing, you do that little trick at the end where I add a C-curve. You don't have to buy C-curve tips. So this application part works on for C-curve tips as well. So if you're struggling to apply acrylic on C-curve tips, that's the trick right there. Keep it off the sides. Keep it off the sidewalls like as much as you can. Angle all your product to the high center. Like, see how I'm doing it right there? See, I'm angling. If you watch the direction my brush is going in, when I go to the sides, I angle everything up top, not just wipe my sides. So think about that. And maybe it'll help you. So what I did while I was blabbing through that was she selected her stickers. We put them all on, and she just wanted them packed in, and she chose the arrangement and selection of every single one of them. And so then I am capping. Oh, before I capped in clear, I did add a top coat that I cured in the light, so that when I put on the capped it in clear, the monomer didn't melt the stickers. So if you're going to cap stickers ever under acrylic, make sure you put on a top coat first to protect them. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going in and capping these nails, and as you guys watch the application, the rest of the application of this clear, and then when I get into the white, just maybe look at the way I'm angling my brush and the way I am keeping it off the sides, and maybe that will help you guys. I'm going to turn my mouth off so you guys can enjoy the application. I'll jump back on if I see anything I need to mention.